So hello, everybody. I am here with Kevin Newman and Peggy Newman of Top Tech. They're out of Georgia, along with their intrepid TSM, Brad Altone. Is that right, Brad? Altone?
Oh, yes, sir.
Fantastic. Peggy and Kevin have a part of our Accelerator series. They're really glad to have you guys. Really happy to have you guys on. So a couple little questions, Kevin or Peggy, you can either jump in or both of you. What made you decide to apply for the Accelerator program?
Mr. Brad Altone said this would be a really good fit for you and your business, and he hadn't led me wrong yet. So I instantly signed up, and he's like, "You got to do this now. You got to do it now. Just trust me, do it." And I was like, "All right, yeah, I'll check it out." And so we started applying. I was like, "Man, this is a lot. We're asking a lot of difficult questions," and they were good questions. And the next thing I knew, I got a call from him and David, and we got in, and it's been a blessing. Every bit of it. Everybody that's been involved has been great. Every trade, every different type of vendor that we've worked with has been so helpful, gone above and beyond for anything that we've needed to do. We're really happy. And it's made a big change already in myself. It's building a lot of development in me as a leader and as a better HVAC professional. Just trying to take everything in and learn every day and do all I can. Loving it.
Awesome. Well, leads me to my next question. Like, what do you want to get out of it? Is there one specific thing? And you talked about it's made you a better leader already with the information that we've given you. I know, and I'll back up. There's going to be about, you're going to be working with about 6 different vendors or 6 different, coaches. And what do you hope to get out of it at the end of the however many months, 6-7 month period this goes? What do you hope to get out of it?
I hope to really develop and hopefully redefine the standard of service and to really implement everything that I've learned, which is above and beyond what we've executed before. We're getting better for everything that we've worked with. Every coach that we've worked with has increased our capacity, increased our quality, our value, and just overall, as a whole, as a business, something that you can be a little bit more proud of. And I think that, as a business owner, that is my end game. I want to wake up every day and be proud of everybody on my team, every service that was rendered, every check that was received. I hope it was earned and that customer appreciated the value that they wrote that check for.
Fantastic, great. So Brad, real quick, as a Goodman TSM, so you heard about this obviously through the Goodman network. And what do you think that if you were to say, when you were talking to Kevin about his end game, what do you expect at the very end? Do you think it would, how this is going to help his business, increase his sales, or increase his efficiency? What do you think that the program is going to be able to do for him? And what would you say to others who are thinking about doing it in the future?
I mean, it's really looking at the big picture of the deal that you're looking into to enter this program, and it's not for everybody, of course. But Kevin and Peggy have an ambition that stands out in our industry. That it speaks for themselves. You know that when you throw their hat into a program like this, you know that they're going to succeed because they're hungry. They're passionate to grow. They're passionate to succeed. Failure is not an option. So I took that into consideration. I was like, hey, listen, like I want to be part of this program. I want Kevin and Top Tech to be part of this program. And I know that with their ambition and motivation to succeed, and the structure that the coaches for this program bring to the table to help build their company overall, it's going to be educational for not just them but for myself. So at the end game, I think they're going to succeed. I think they're going to grow rapidly in a healthy fashion to be able to succeed, and at the end game, be able to sell their company or move it down the family chain if they choose to do so.
Fantastic, thanks. I appreciate that, Brad. You're a good spokesman for the program.
Thank you.
So Kevin, So tell me a little bit about the business, Kevin or Peggy. Peggy, you can jump in. You guys started it when, and what made you start your own business? I'm assuming you had some experience as a tech of some sort or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, so Peggy, why don't you go ahead there?
Okay, I'll just say my part and then you can jump in. It started in 2012 when Kevin started it. He's been doing it since he was 15 with his stepdad. Kind of showed him all the stuff needed to do the HVAC. And I got involved when we got married because Kevin kept trying to reel me in, and I was very reluctant because I didn't want to bring the business in to our home. So
Yeah.
I was very reluctant to jump in, but he finally reeled me in. And once I got in, I got really excited. And then Kevin decided that we both decided we wanted to get into the residential world, even though we knew that it was going to be really tough, with all the competition we have. But, like Brad said, failure is not an option, and we're ambitious. We're definitely hungry, and we're ready to do this and just kick this out of the ballpark for sure.
Yeah, and I think that that's a great history lesson there for myself looking back at it all. Since 2012, my stepdad, everything I've done over the past 20-something years of doing this type of work off and on. And I really like the fact that, and I think that, what really hit the nail on the head with this program for us is that when COVID hit, restaurants were closed. All I could think about was like, everybody's at home, everybody's, doing their thing at their houses. And, I really want to learn how to be a really good residential HVAC guy. And, this is really honing us in to where we can actually successfully do that and appease the residential consumer, which is a lot more particular than, commercial clients. I've done refrigeration. My stepdad taught me like refrigeration and cooking equipment. We used to install, big kitchens and exhaust hoods and PEX lines and stuff like that. And, now it's just really trying to get into the grasp of HVAC. And, I know it mechanically, I know how to fix it and stuff, but there's just so much on the other end of the business, and there's so much more than that. And I was telling Peggy earlier, I was like, there's probably too many HVAC owners out there, and I might have been one of them. It takes a lot to humble yourself as an owner of a company and to sit back and take all this in. It's a humbling experience, and I love it. I'm trying to take everything that I'm learning and basically, grow from it, not take offense to it, but use it to better myself, better my business. And I think if you do come into a program like this, you've got to be open-minded, and you really got to sit back and listen to people that are smarter than you and just take it in. And, we're really growing from it. I mean, our product line is starting to improve. Our delivery is starting to improve, and we're just still in the middle of it. The website's looking great. We're starting to get financing options available. And I think that we're kind of like a slingshot getting ready to pop. And we're about pulled back as far as we want to go. And we're going to catapult forward. It's going to be great.
I guess we didn't say in the beginning that
Kevin
was only doing commercial when he started. Up until early this year, we started doing residential. We had already talked about it, but then when COVID hit, we had to do it. We had no choice because, like he said, all of our commercial clients were closed. The restaurants, the retail stores, everything. So we had to go where everybody else was, and that was at home. And so we had to learn to sell equipment over the phone, through the computer, doing the best we could. And the accelerated program couldn't have come at a better time, for sure.
Yeah, you know what? You took the words right out of my mouth. So that's what I was getting ready to say. So for the first, 7 years of your business life in this at Top Tech, you guys been doing commercial, but you're not necessarily getting away from commercial, but there's just not the business there. It's forcing you now to get into the add-on residential or add-on replacement, right? And
yeah, in order to grow, we realized that it's an easier scalability if we actually go through just air conditioning and specify and be, focused on one group. I'm a jack of all trades, right? And it's hard to find technicians that can do that many skill sets and stuff. And I'm not trying to be like cocky or anything. It's just really hard to find a tech that can do cooking equipment, refrigeration, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and go in there in a restaurant and do everything. And it's really hard to scale. And I think that is a huge thing. So for me to grow a company and to continue my vision on building a reputable business. It's been a lot of fun, and the NCI has been a really big hand in helping me as far as understanding airflow and air quality. Going down to Columbus Thursday and Friday this week to do a class on indoor air quality. I can't wait. Everything they do, like Peggy's like, wow, you're so excited about this. I mean, it's awesome stuff, and it's stuff I just never knew before, and I'm just learning every day, and it's a lot of fun.
So, and when you were doing the commercial, you really didn't do a lot of financing, right? Because
we financed
the
it
builders,
ourselves,
whoever
let's say
you did
that.
it.
Yeah, we would just be stuck with $80,000 to $90,000 in receivables, for 6 months at a time, right? So yeah.
That is the great news.
Oh, really? That's what you were doing?
It was a lot, man.
That's the great news about residential that we do like, is that they pay right away. Commercial, takes forever to get a check in our hands, but residential, we're going to pay right away, whether it's a credit card, whether it's through financing, a check, whatever. We're going to get a check once the job is complete, and that is a huge benefit to going into the residential market.
Yeah, and I think one of the best things about this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, so one of the best things I think about this, and coming from a business owner, and the name of this program, Accelerated Success Program, it's a really great name. And I think that it was really well thought out, because when you start taking on all these different things and all these different mechanisms that take the machine of your business, and you take all that and you try to implement it as a business owner, when you don't know all these things, it's very difficult. So we've had a hard time trying to implement all this stuff into our program, and now it's almost becoming automated from what I'm seeing through this. It really doesn't take a lot of thought. So with the financing for the equipment on the website, the way the website's put together, it's brilliant. You can get a quote on the website right there. You can get your financing right there. And we've never thought of offering financing to our commercial customers before, but we're trying to implement that now. But trying to explain it to them is a whole different animal, to make them understand it, to make your techs understand how to offer it. So the implementation is one of my favorite parts about this Accelerated Success Program. Is it because Brad's like, man, you got to get this, you got to do that, you've got to get this set up. And I was like, I don't know how to do all that, man. And this program, it's put it all together for me. It really has.
It's the whole overall assistance and implementation. And that's the key part of this whole program is the help to implement the processes that Kevin and Peggy already know that they need. It's the implementation that this program is going to pay back tenfold.
Well, I was certainly, as a finance guy and as somebody who's representing lenders that are going to help you to make your job easier, please stop taking receivables. You should never, let the banks take that risk. That's what we have lenders for now. And we also have commercial solutions. I know we've discussed that before. So let me ask you, so with the financing part, as far as, getting into the add-on replacement and the commercial replacement, do you have any concerns about that? Is there any, as far as, it's a whole new thing now, and all of a sudden, now you're going to be also a financial specialist or a little bit of a loan specialist, and we'll certainly help you get through that and teach you that. But do you have any concerns about that?
Not anymore. I think that what we went through and the way it's set up now, like just go to the website and apply, and then everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. We went through a lot of different programs, and we chose a few different ones to kind of focus on and have those laser focused in sales and processes. We're obviously trying to get a lot more lead generation coming in so we can process more sales quotes. And,
sure.
You got to build it before they will come, right? And
absolutely.
I think we built it very well. The website's just amazing. Like what y'all done with the financing is amazing.
Also,
and everybody did with the sales system is so great. Power Selling Pros is helping inside our house. Like they're helping us develop people that are great to be even better. It's just great. NCI is making me a smarter technician. It's really cool. So yeah, I love it.
I was just going to say, EGIA brought us Interbank, and Interbank has also been great and very helpful. And they have the app that is very easy to go through. It's just something that you can literally hand over to the customer, and they're not giving us the information. They can just, go through the app. And so it's definitely easier, and there's no concern there. The only thing hindering us is, like Kevin said, lead generation. We need more people, and I know that will come.
Absolutely. Yep. And, as far as the financing goes, you're exactly right. So many contractors that I talk to, they're afraid of the unknown, and they're afraid to take the leap into the financing business, so to speak. But you hit the head on the nail. It is so easy. The lenders make it so easy for you. There's an app on your phone. Everybody has an app. You just click a couple of buttons and it's done, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's the great thing about it. I mean, and what I've learned too is, as far as like trying to develop lead generation and things like that, Mr. Ron Smith says you've already got a lot of clients. You just need to reach out to them and let them know that you're doing this now. And especially with the financing, I mean, I would love to put a constant contact flyer out that says we now do commercial lending and help out with EGIA for that. But we also offer residential lending if you need a new AC replacement at your house. And I mean, there's so many ideas that we could do with this current clientele. And I'm just wondering, if you think that might be something y'all would want to put together, like a flyer that we could send out with certain commercial financing options for repairs as well, because some of these repairs we do can be a few $1,000s, and
right,
they can't afford it at the time, and then they use us as their bank, and I don't want to float that anymore.
No, I don't want you to ever to do that again. That's not a good business model, because it only takes one or two people to not pay you, and then all of a sudden you're in a hole with a lot of money. So yeah, we have our, you talked about Interbank. I will get you in touch with them. They have a lot of good marketing ideas, flyers, things like that. So yeah, I will certainly do that.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking out loud and trying to put all the things that I've learned through this program together,
So I know you talked about that. Go ahead, Peggy.
I was just going to say, they've sent us a lot of material as well. We just need to utilize it more, Kevin.
Okay.
We have a lot of it.
Get the chance to work with, have you worked with Tom Whitman and got the selling solution? You have that good, better, best on your tablet. Have you gotten that far? I know, I know it's just beginning, but have you gotten that?
I think we're about to the tail end of that. We're almost done with that. We're
good.
Tweaking it just a little bit. So
yeah, it's a long process. Like I said, we got a long ways to go, but that'll really, really help you at the kitchen table or on the phone or on the Zoom meetings. We don't get the kitchen table too much. And Brad, I'm telling you, when you're out there talking to dealers, if we have a lot of partners. It's called the Tom Whitman HVAC Coaching Corner, and he's developed this program that helps the contractors sell and give them a good, better, best on their tablet or on their computer. Has all kinds of neat stuff on it. So if you want to, maybe see that the next time you go over at Kevin's place, or if you want Tom to give you a call, because I think it'd be good for you to, talk to your, everybody, promotes, all of our vendor partners. You got CI Web Group, you mentioned Power Selling Pros, NCI, Tom, and then us, of course. So there's a lot of good partners here, a lot of good coaches. And Matt Plugoff's branding, I don't know if you've met him yet, but that will be coming up and be able to help you with that.
Yeah, Matt was great. Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yes. The whole team's really good. And the whole idea is that we want you to certainly learn something. So now you signed up with Interbank, right? You got there, and Peggy, sounds like you've got their app pretty down pat as far as your comfortability on how to take applications or conduct or show to customers how to do it.
Yes, I mean it's really easy. So I mean,
do you have a link on your website?
I think so.
I think we put that on there, right? I think
no, yeah.
Web.
So it's on there, yeah.
I probably could have looked beforehand, but I just thought about it. I'll look on your website when we get done. And if it's not there, I'll make sure it's there. And if it is, fantastic.
There's
That's
been
a
all kinds
big
of
part.
updates to our website, so I mean, I have to
Yes.
like look at it every day to see what's new.
Fantastic. Yes.
I'm pretty sure it is.
That sounds great. Because that's a, especially, in the age of COVID, when somebody's calling you at, or even they're looking at your website at 2 o'clock in the morning, because in my experience, furnaces that are air conditioners, no matter what the season is, they break down at 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock. They don't break down at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when you're there. They always break down at middle of the night. Somebody can go on your website and apply for a loan and get approved while you're still sleeping. That's great. Or you can direct it to them. Just say, hey, go to our website here, Top Tech Mechanical, and go ahead and apply for the loan. And it's really, really simple for the customer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
simple is better.
we have
for sure.
really good approval rates. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I was just commenting. I'm sorry. It's hard enough to
No,
sometimes.
please.
Yeah, I was just saying simple is better for these customers and, for anybody that's involved in the process. I mean, when I'm thinking about spending money and then somebody overcomplicates it with all these different things that I don't understand, I immediately pull back. And it's hard to really feel comfortable doing something if you don't really understand it. So, and I think that's what's great about y'all's financing is that it's simple options that the customers can really understand. And that was like when I talked about implementation and when I first heard about doing financing, I was like, my mind was just in a wind. I didn't really understand how to implement it. And I'm really starting to, and it's like you said, we're still in the middle of it. I think that we're really going to come out on top once we get it rocking and rolling.
And I think Brad will attest that, financing is the one thing that probably the least expensive or the program you can implement that doesn't cost you anything, because you're not hiring a tech, you're not buying a new van, but it can increase your sales like you have an extra 2 or 3 guys there. You know what I'm saying? Because people
You can't grow without
financing.
You can't still high efficiency without financing. You can't run a business without financing. I will literally, stop a partnership with a dealer if they refuse to offer financing, because at the end of the day, that means you're just a 14-SEER dealer. And that's no value for me to bring to my dealer or for the consumer. So financing is the number one, and Kevin will tell you this. I'm like, the number one thing you need to look at first and foremost is financing.
Yep, that's great. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. That is so true. I always tell people, but some people just, they don't necessarily aspire to be the biggest guy in town, but maybe people somewhere in whatever city that you're in, wherever you're living, there's some mega dealer out there. And if you aspire to be that, that's great. But they didn't get there by taking cash and checks. They got there through financing, through hard work, obviously good reputation, which you guys have. You guys are stellar in that place. So but certainly if you can do financing early on and make that part of your of your company's DNA, is that, hey, we just do this, is what we do. We finance our jobs. You will, as Brad said, you will increase your sale, not only the number of sales, but the type of sales. Be able to sell a lot more 16, 18 steers by telling them it's an extra $20 a month, as opposed to they have to can you an extra $4,000 out of their pocket. That's where the ease of it comes in.
What's a very large purchase if you're talking about a new system, even if you are at 14 SEER? But me as a contractor, I'm a craftsman. Like, I want to look at something when I'm done and be like, man, that is awesome. That thing does everything you can think of. It dices, it slices. I want it all. And that's the great thing. Like what Brad was saying, I want to offer high-end systems. I was like, man, I want to offer these inverter series. He's like, you're not ready yet. But I said, no, I'm ready. I want to do it. And he's probably right. I probably wasn't ready, but we're getting it. So.
And you can add, you get your add-ons, your IAQs. You can, add on some warranties and your, service contracts, things like that. You can't do that if you're trying to pull money out of their bank account, and it's, you're trying to get $6,000 for the unit, and I'll make that up. Then you need another $1,000 for some IAQs. Easier self-payments, so much easier. So, well, great guys. Thank you, Brad. Thanks for coming on. Peggy, Kevin, I'm looking forward to the rest of this. We're going to do some more trainings with you. We'll make sure that we tape them all about any of your financing, about Interbank. If you need any help with them, you let me know and we'll get on a webinar with them and we'll do whatever we need to do, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Brad. Take care now.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.